It's been a very rocky road so far for healthcare stocks.
Hmm.
So do you think that the sector will perform better next year? And we can talk about the tariffs in phases. I know that's
Etc.
overseas pharmaceuticals is one of the things that Trump put tariffs on.
Hmm.
So I believe it's 50% on overseas pharmaceutical or 100,
100.
100%.
100%, 100% on overseas pharmaceutical. And then of course the Ozempic lawsuit. So there's been a lot of high
Tough.
profile things that have hurt um, healthcare stocks. Don't talk about Eli Lilly a lot, but yeah, what's the forward projection for the healthcare stocks?
I think the healthcare sector will be okay, but one of the biggest mistakes was that sector trying to price in healthcare returns to match tech returns. So if you look even at Eli Lilly from 2021, which was at 201.78, it ballooned up to 972.53. I love Eli Lilly dearly. I think it's one of the most important companies in healthcare. But if I had to ask you, just okay, is it more important than Nvidia, Microsoft, and Meta? The price gaps became too wide, and I think they began to adjust to prices where they should be. Novo has had their issues. We've always talked about investing into stocks that are domestic and not international first. So I think as a result, the sector will be fine. But if you're looking for high price returns, the only places you really can turn to are Bitcoin, which is a tech, and then tech sectors, and maybe some energy. Troy, we can talk about app loving later, but I think all in all, even with like United Healthcare, the margin structures are dramatically different than a tech company. So I think it's a mistake at times to try and get the same kind of returns that that sector normally does not give. Will next year be a little bit better? Yes, but I don't think you should expect 35 to 45% return in healthcare at all.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever expect that type of return. I
Uh-uh.
mean, if you're in the right place at the right time, it can happen. Healthcare is interesting. I think it's kind of one of these things where you have to see a breakthrough, and it has to be something that has strong belief,
Substantial.
right? It has to be something with strong policy behind it. There's a lot of different variations or factors that go into making a healthcare stock something that is worth investing in. The interesting part is that AI is going to disrupt healthcare. And so there could
At scale.
be, right? It could help it at scale. And so we could see innovations in biotech. I think we're not far from that, right? Like I talked about this yesterday where Vlad Tenev was saying that 10 years ago, every company on the stock market is a tech company because it needs a tech component.
Yep.
And last week he said every company is going to be an AI company because it has to have an AI component. And healthcare is not excluded from that. And so innovation will happen. How fast? I think it can happen quickly. And if you look at what this administration, especially when you talk about tariffs, and that's even an interesting proposition in itself, right? Like the tariffs only go into effect at 100% if you're not building a plant inside of the United States. And so that's like, I mean, you're trying to incentivize people to build infrastructure here from the farmer
Yeah.
side. But if they do, then there are no tariffs, right, for those companies. I think you focus on if you're investing in healthcare. I think you're focusing on the American companies that have been leading,
Yeah.
starting with Lilly, Johnson and Johnson. I think the best thing to do, right, and we talked about it last week, is go look up these healthcare ETFs and see what allocations
Yep. XLV. Yep.
right? If we look at the Spider Fund, XLV, Lilly, Johnson and Johnson, AbbVie, United Health, Abbott, Merck. I used to talk about Thermo Fisher all the time during the
Yeah.
pandemic. We were talking about how we're going to get vaccines, and that business is going out the window, right? We talk about what's happened to Merck. You can see, but
Moderna
American
as
companies,
well.
yeah, American companies. If that is what the administration is leaning towards, like I said, you have to have strong policy behind you. I would keep an eye on the top five in XLV, and put on my watch list. I definitely and then Striker. I think we can put Striker in there, right?
Yeah, that's always been one of my favorites.
In terms of healthcare. Lilly for sure, but keep them on your watch list. Lilly obviously will be the leader, and that has a lot to do with not just the weight loss drugs. I mean, their entire portfolio, but be mindful of the ones that are getting policy behind it.
The only three I like in the space, Eli Lilly, of course, ABBV, and Striker. United Healthcare until I get a new CEO and this trial is over with.